6:15.
That's the rock and roll violin.
Yeah, I like that.
How pathetic can some people be?
I have ridden a bus in this country. That is not a good way to travel. I've ridden Greyhound. Last trip I took, there were like 45 people on the bus. I was the last one on. I took one look at these people. I felt like calling Unsolved Mysteries and going, yeah, I found everybody. Oh, there's extra ones here if you hurry. Call those guys from that show Cops. Greyhound is America's weirdo wagon. The kid sitting next to me is like 17. Nice enough kid. This is all I'd say the whole trip, though. You know what, lady? Life sucks. I think, well, probably because there's an earring in your eyelid. Probably hard to blink in the morning, isn't it?
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Opal Brown has been riding the bus in Washington, D.C. for 35 years. She says, they've done S for me.
Well, they get you from point to point.
Yeah, for 35 years. I mean, like, listen.
For 35 years, you haven't had to walk.
Listen, girl. She's 38 years old, so that means she's been riding it since she's 3. All right? If something, you know, what I forget the saying. The definition of insanity, is this the right saying? Is doing the same thing over and over
and expecting a different outcome.
Yeah, but she doesn't, because they've done S for her. She came into a situation last week when the DC Metro bus driver, when she was getting off the bus, the bus driver apparently said, "Have a nice day," in that tone. She didn't like the tone in which the DC Metro bus driver said, "Have a nice day." So she took a cup of her own urine and threw it on her.
What the hell she's carrying a cup of her own urine for? That's premeditated urine throwing, I swear to God.
No, it's not. She turned herself in last week to the police in Washington, D.C., and they said that she had told police that she had relieved herself into a cup while on the bus and had intended to throw it out when she got off the bus. Instead, she had it in her hand when the bus driver said, "Have a nice day." She got mad and flung it in the driver's face.
Public servant, just trying to earn a living, trying to bring some food home on the table. She gets pissed on.
She said she was provoked and that she hates Metro.
Wait, this is a woman, right?
Yeah.
And she peed into a cup?
Very skilled.
Oh, that's very
skilled.
Talented. She could probably pee in a urinal. She could probably do a stand-up. It's pretty good stuff.
I mean, like,
at least she's got one talent.
Buses are to have other people on them. How do you sit there and you're like, mind your own business, you know, don't look at me, I'm cool. I mean, what is your, I know you don't probably ride the bus all that often. When's the last time you rode the bus?
It was with you in San Francisco.
Okay. What is your game plan when riding the bus? Is it look straight ahead and don't make eye contact with anybody? Or is it like people watch while you're on the bus? You can't help but people watch when you're on the bus.
Exactly.
I see this woman, I'm like seeing her fidgeting around over there in the corner with some cup. I'm like, what is she doing?
Oh, yeah.
Is she peeing in a
She's
cup?
peeing in the bus. Okay, just turn away. And that's what people do on the bus, because there's so many weirdos that ride the bus. When you see something that is unpleasant, you just look away. You don't do anything about it. Because these are the people that ride the bus.
The driver had to be taken to the hospital and decontaminated. She will be charged with...
What do you use? Vinegar and water? What do you
Salt.
use to get urine off? Tomato juice like a skunk?
I don't know, but I don't know if I'm the bus driver, I don't know if I want to be taken to the hospital and decontaminated. I mean, I'm sure it's like probably Metro policy. Oh, you know what? When you get pee thrown on you, we have to make sure your needs are taken care of. So we're gonna take you to the hospital and decontaminate you. But that's embarrassing. You're sitting there with the...
Do you get back on that bus?
Is it an emergency room thing? Is it an emergency room procedure? Do you go in there and they're like, okay, why are you here today? When you're sitting there with the triage nurse, you're like, Opal, she threw pee on me and on the bus. Okay, how are we supposed to... What do you want us to do? I don't know. Work just sent me in here to get decontaminated.
Yeah, clean me.
All right, here's some hand sanitizer. Here you go.
Hand sanitizer. They got showers.
Here's a bill for $1,200.
Give me that stuff that looks like blood that you guys used before, the iodine stuff before you get in there and start surgery, operating. I need to get washed down with that stuff. Ugh, it's gross. What happened to Opal?
She is going to be charged with assault. I don't know if it's what level of assault it is. She turned herself in, so I'm sure they'll be lenient. My thing is, will she have her bus pass revoked? I mean, hell, she's like one of the most cherished customers of the DC Metro system.
She's like an MVP Gold member.
She's been doing this for 35 years. How many miles has she logged?
If she's at a bus stop, she should be able to board the bus first. First class upgrades, the whole thing. 35 years, for God's sake. Since she was 3. If you ride the bus and you put up with that for 35 years, maybe they let you throw some urine on somebody once.
Hey, this is my 35th anniversary on this bus. I'm throwing piss on you.
When I was a kid, Bryce McQueen used to try to throw dog poop at us.
Okay, this is what I don't understand about somebody trying to throw dog poop on you. And I had a friend once at a bar, and granted, he was at a bar, so he was making bad decisions anyways. But he got in a fight with somebody because he was in the bathroom, and the guy started talking to him from within the stall. He was at the urinal, and he was like talking smack to him or something like that. But the other guy was in the stall, so that means he was doing the duty.
Who was talking the smack? The guy in the stall?
The guy in the stall was talking the smack to the guy my friend in the urinal. So then what my friend at the urinal started doing was throwing pee on him. But then I said, Jason, what made you think that's a good idea? Because that means you have to pee on your own hand and then throw it over.
Yeah, but it's your pee.
That's what he said.
It's my pee.
He's like, it's mine. It's fine. It's no problem.
I peed on myself before.
I was getting mad at the guy because he was talking smack to me, and they ended up getting a fight. And I was like, well, I hope he finished up.
What if he reached down on the toilet and threw his turd on you?
Well, that's what I'm asking. That's what I don't understand. You say you have a friend that used to throw dog poop on you.
we were kids. He would pick it up, too. He'd find the hard ones, and he'd just huck at it like rocks or something.
But that
like
means he has to pick it up.
And so nobody wanted to hang out with Bryce. So we would taunt him because he lived on a cul-de-sac. People know what cul-de-sacs are here?
There's no T on the end of cull. It's just cull. It's not
cul-de-sac.
No, it's cull. De-sac.
Cul-de-sac? Cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac. De-sac.
Yeah. Well, it's a D, not a T. Cul-de-sac. Anyways.
No, it's not cult. A sac.
I didn't say cult.
You're saying
I said cul-de-sac.
You're saying cult a sac.
No, I'm saying cul-de-sac. Like with a D.
There you go.
Cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac.
Just try to keep up. I talk fast.
Cul-de-sac.
So he lived at the very end of the cul-de-sac.
Thank you.
And so we would all ride by on our bikes. We were all like 10 years old, and he'd be out there like, yeah, screw you, Bryce. And we would take off. And so, one day we come through.
Is this in an effort to get him to pick up dog poop?
No, this is the first time we got pegged with dog poop. I didn't get hit, but my friends did. Nick got hit. Anyway, so Nick's behind me. I'm in front, and Danny Greco's in front. I don't know if you remember Danny Greco, but he had the mom that had the big boobs. It was really hot. Anyway, so we'd all go to Danny's house to check out his mom, to hang out with Danny, and then he lived down the street from Bryce. So then we'd go around the cul-de-sac, and Bryce, there was like some trees and shrubs, and he could hide behind there, almost like a foxhole. And he had his poop ready, and he just started hucking dog poop, and he hit Nick right in the cheek. Oh. And Nick, he was crying. I'm like, just wash it off, you'll be fine. Well, you didn't get hit by the dog poop, and I'm like, whatever. So I had to quit.
That's pretty gross. But I don't understand on Bryce's behalf, though, is that
Bryce he was weird.
Okay, he must have been because he thought
Who picks up dog poop, and he wasn't wearing gloves.
Bryce Jong-il doesn't give a crap what happens to him. He's gonna start his war.
Launching nuke turds.
Because his chances of loss on that are 100%. He's the one picking up the dog.
Yeah, and he had a small dog, so it wasn't like it was that big. You know what I mean?
You had a lot of things thrown at you.
I was helping a buddy build a cabin, and he has this little short guy friend. He's a little stocky short guy. You remember Anthony?
Uh-huh.
Anthony would just fire off at any reason. You walked on eggshells.
You have license to call Anthony a short guy because he was shorter than you.
Just a little bit.
One of the few people in the world that you could say has that you can say has short guy syndrome.
And he was fiery. Like, I don't even know how this guy is still alive because I'm pretty sure his heart was going to explode because he would just go off. But anyways, we're up there, we're building, and I think it's called a cap, and it was the end. It was this big end piece that would hold up a second-story wall, and I'm on a ladder and he's on a ladder, and I'm just supposed to hold it because I really don't know what I'm doing.
Hold on a second. Anthony was like 5'6", 5'5",
probably
and a half.
5'6", probably 5'6".
You are 5'7".
I'm 5'8".
What is anybody
Would
doing?
you stop it? And I was wearing boots, so I was probably 5'9".
What are people doing recruiting you and him to hold something up?
Free labor, I guess.
For a second story.
Free labor. So
hey, I got these two short guys that are going to build the second story of my place.
And this is the cabin I go to.
I'm going to have 6-foot ceilings on the bottom floor
every year, So, I mean, this is a place I know that I'm going to spend a lot of time at. So we all would chip in. Anyway, so we're framing it. And Anthony's he's got some carpentry skills and has done this before. So he's like, just hold it right there. So I'm holding it right there, right? And this is a big, heavy beam. And then one of my other buddy comes around. His name's Jeremy, too, kind of a jackass. And he starts
Tall
tickling.
Jeremy. We used to always refer to him as Tall Jeremy.
Right. He starts shaking my ladder like so I could fall off. And so I'm like, hey, knock it off. And I'm kicking at him. Well, then at that time, Anthony goes, I'm not looking at him. He takes his beam and he moves it to shake it into place. Well, when that happens, he didn't tell me he was going to do that. It comes falling off. It hits him scratches his face, hits his shoulder. I look at him and the fire in his eyes. He reaches down to his construction belt, whatever those things are called. Uh-huh. And he grabs his hammer.
Tool belt. It's called a tool
belt. He grabs his hammer.
He threw a hammer?
As he's grabbing his claw hammer, I'm like, oh, crap. I dive off the ladder. The hammer is in the air. It hits this metal sheeting, aluminum, whatever that is, and just puts a hole in it. Like, there's a good if I didn't have these quick reaction skills, I wouldn't be here today.
If you hadn't had so many things thrown at you in your life, you would not had the seasoning and the conditioning to address that event of a claw hammer getting thrown at you.
Like
and
snake-like moves.
You might not be here.
You know how quick a snake will bite, will snap and bite? Those were the moves I had to have to avoid these things.
All these things that have been thrown at you in your life, if it wasn't for Bryce, who would huck dog poop at you when you were 10 years old.
10 years old.
Then who knows if you are able to dodge the hammer.
And then he goes, sorry, dude. He goes, you ever do that again, I will make sure I hit you. And I was like, wait, you just sorry? And then you threatened to kill me. 543-3693. We got somebody on the line here. Hi, good morning.
I didn't get thrown at me, but I threw him at my son here about 3 weeks ago. We were up deer hunting. He shot a little pork horn. So I'm starting to clean it out, starting to gut it out and skin it. And he went down the hill to grab the game bag. And when he was walking up the hill, I beamed him in the chest with the nut, with the deer. It was pretty funny. Deer hunting.
Any plans to go to the 14th annual World Testicle Cooking Championships?
No, not really. I'll stay with that.
How big are deer nuts?
A little bigger than golf balls.
Oh, okay. Have you ever cooked them?
No.
No, he uses them for ammo against his son.
Yeah, I beat him right in the chest.
How old's your son?
26.
Okay.
Oh,
then it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking 13.
No, he's older.
I took my 8-year-old son out hunting the other day, and I started pelting him with deer nuts.
Mostly scar him for life.
Thanks for the call.
He's 26. He can handle it.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. 93.3 KZOZ Rock.